done to my dog?
It was 7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of Mrs. Shears's house.
Get away from my dog.
Its eyes were closed. It looked as though it was running on its side, the way dogs look when they think they're chasing a cat in a dream. But the dog was not running or asleep. The dog was dead.
Get away from my dog.
There was a garden fork sticking out of the dog. The dog was called Wellington. It belonged to Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. She lived on the opposite side of the road, 2 houses to the left.
Get away from my dog.
My name is Christopher John Francis Boone. I know all the countries of the world and their capital cities, and every prime number up to 7,507.
Get away from my dog.
After 12.5 minutes, a policeman arrived. He had a big orange leaf stuck to the bottom of his shoe, which was poking out from one side. This is good, Christopher. It's quite exciting. I like the details. They make it more realistic. He squatted down next to me. He said to me,
Would you like to explain to me what's going on here, young man?
The dog is dead. I think someone killed the dog.
How old are you?
I am 15 years and 3 months and 2 days.
And what precisely are you doing in the garden?
I'm talking to you.
Okay. What were you doing in the garden in the first place?
I was holding the dog. I like dogs.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the dog.
Is this your form?
No!
You seem very upset about this. I'm going to ask you once again. Great. Young man, I'm going to ask you to please stand up calmly and quietly. Terrific. Marvelous. I'm arresting you for assaulting a police officer.
I find people confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first main reason is that people often talk without using any words. Siobhan says that if you raise one eyebrow, it can mean lots of different things. It can mean, I want to do sex with you. Christopher, I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't use those words, Christopher.
You did on September 12th last year.
And it can also mean, I think what you just said was very stupid.
Christopher, I've spoken with your father. He says you didn't mean to hit a policeman. Did you mean to hit a policeman?
Yes.
But you didn't mean to hurt a policeman.
No, I didn't mean to hurt a policeman. I just wanted you to stop touching me. I've got a Swiss Army knife, but I only use that for doing odd jobs, not for stabbing things or hurting people.
Christopher, please.
Right. I'm going to give you a caution. A caution means that we're going to keep a record of what you did. That you hit a policeman, but that it was an accident, and you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
But it wasn't an accident.
Christopher?
If you get into any more trouble, we will pull out this record and see that you've been given a warning and have to take things much more seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying, Christopher?
Yes. I'm sorry. I didn't kill Wellington.
Christopher, you've got to stay out of trouble.
I didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I like Wellington, and I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know that someone had killed him.
Just try and keep your nose out of other people's business.
I'm going to find out who killed Wellington.
Were you listening to what I was saying, Christopher?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying, but when someone gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so that they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog.
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Nicholas, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays and needs help eating his food, and probably couldn't even fetch a stick.
Leave it.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher. You could say that. You could very well say that.
The second main reason I find people confusing is that people often talk using metaphors. These are examples of metaphors.
I am seriously going to lose my mind.
He was the from school one day and no one answered the door. So I went and found the secret key that we keep under a flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself in and rubbed my feet on the mat. I placed the key on the bowl on the table, and I took off my coat and hung it by the side of the fridge so it would be ready for school the next day. I gave 3 pellets of food to Toby, my pet rat. Then I went up to my bedroom, turned on my bedroom light, and played 6 games of Tetris and got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score. An hour later, Father came home from work.
Christopher, have you seen your mum?
No.
He started making some phone calls. I did not hear what he said. Then he said he had to go out for a while. He was away for 2.5 hours. When he came home, I went downstairs.
Christopher, I'm afraid you won't be seeing your mother for a while.
Why not?
She's had to go into hospital.
What kind of hospital? Is it a psychiatric hospital?
No, it's an ordinary hospital. She has a problem. A problem with her heart.
How are you today, Christopher?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
In the bus on the way to school, we passed 4 red cars in a row.
Oh,
So today is a good day.
great, I'm glad.
And I'm going to find out who really killed Wellington and make it a project. Even though Father told me not to, I don't always do what I'm told.
Why?
Because when people tell you what to do, it is usually confusing and does not make sense. For example, people often say, be quiet, but they don't tell you how long to be quiet for.
Christopher, why did your father tell you not to try to find out who killed Wellington?
I don't know.
Well, how about you write what happened to Wellington?
Okay, I will.
Christopher, I'm sorry. Your mother's dead. She's had a heart attack. It wasn't expected.
What kind of heart attack?
I don't know what kind of heart attack.
It was probably an aneurysm.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I'm really sorry.
That evening, I went round to Mrs. Shears's house and knocked on her door and waited for her to answer it.
What are you doing here?
I just wanted to tell you that I didn't kill Wellington, and also I want to find out who killed him.
Christopher, I really don't think I want to see you right now.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Christopher, you need to leave.
I
Now!
just wanted to see if the fork was in the shed.
If you do not leave now, I will call the police again.
Count the rhythm, like when you're doing music or when you're drumming. Left, right, left, right, left,
right, left, right.
The next day was a Saturday, and there's not much to do on a Saturday. So I made a decision. I decided to do some more detection. I decided to go out on my own.
Can I help you?
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who are you?
I'm Christopher. I'm from number 36. And I think I know you. You're Mrs. Thompson?
I'm Mrs. Thompson's sister.
Well, do you know who killed Wellington?
Who is Wellington?
Mrs. Shears' dog. Mrs. Shears is from number 39.
Someone killed her dog?
With a fork.
Jeez.
A garden fork.
Oh.
So, do you know who killed him?
I haven't a bloody clue.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening?
Look, son, do you really think you should be going around asking questions like this?
Yes, I do, because I want to find out who killed Wellington, and I'm writing a book about it.
Well, you're asking the wrong person.
Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
No, I don't.
Well, somebody must know, because the person who killed Wellington knows they killed Wellington. Unless they were a loony person and didn't know what they were doing, or unless they had amnesia.
You're Christopher, aren't you?
Yes, I live at number 36 and I'm doing detective work.
You don't have a dog, do you?
No, I have a rat though, he's called Toby. Most people don't like rats because they think they carry diseases like bubonic plague, but rats are very clean.
Do you want to come in for tea?
I don't go into other people's homes.
Well, maybe I could bring some tea out here.
She was inside the house for more than 6 minutes, and I began to get nervous because I thought she might be calling the police. And then I would get into more serious trouble because of the caution. So I walked away.
Why would you kill a dog?
I wouldn't.
Well, murders are usually committed by someone who is known to the victim.
Is that a fact?
Yes, actually, it is a fact. Wellington was therefore most likely to have been killed by someone known to him. I only know one person who didn't like Mrs. Shears, and that is Mr. Shears, who divorced Mrs. Shears and left her to live somewhere else, and who knew Wellington very well indeed. This means that Mr. Shears is my prime suspect. I'm going to find out more about this Mr. Shears.
Mr. Boone, nobody has ever taken an A-level examination in this school before.
He can be the first then.
I can't treat Christopher any different to any other student.
Why not?
Because it would set a precedent. We should talk about this later.
Are there things you're too embarrassed to say? Go on and say them now then.
If Christopher were to sit in A-level, he would have to have a member of staff looking after him in a separate room, on his own.
I'll pay for it. They can do it after school.
Mr. Boone,
I'm not going to take no for an answer. Where have you been?
I've been out.
I've just had a call from Mrs. Shears. What were you doing poking around her garden?
I was doing detective work trying to figure out who killed Wellington.
Christopher, I told you to keep your nose out of other people's business.
I think Mr. Shears probably killed Wellington.
I will not have that man's name mentioned in my house.
Why not?
Because that man is evil.
Does that mean he might have killed Wellington?
Okay, Christopher. I'm going to say this to you one more time. I won't tell you again. Look at me when I'm talking to you. You are not to go asking Mrs. Shears who killed that bloody dog. You are not to go trespassing on other people's gardens. And you are to stop this ridiculous, bloody detective game right now. Going to make you promise me, Christopher. And you know what it means when I make you promise.
I know.
Promise me you'll give up this ridiculous game.
I promise.
Christopher, if your father told you not to try to find out who killed Wellington, then I think he probably has a good reason, and I think you should stop. But you can still be very proud because what you've written so far, well, it's wonderful.
It's very short.
Well, some books are very short.
It's not a proper book. I never found out who killed Wellington, so the murderer is still at large.
Not all murders are solved, and not all murders get caught.
I just don't like the idea that he could be living somewhere nearby and I might meet him when I go out for a walk at night.
Christopher, I don't think that's going to happen.
Father said that Mr. Shears was an evil man, and not to mention his name in our house ever again, and Maybe that meant he was the person who killed Wellington.
Christopher, I think you should do as your father tells you to do.
What happened to you the other day? I came out again and you've gone.
I went away. I thought you might ring the police.
Now why would I do that?
Because I was poking my nose into other people's business. And Father said that I shouldn't investigate who killed Wellington.
Well, don't worry. I'm not going to tell your father because there's nothing wrong with having a chat.
I don't do chatting. I like computers. I like looking after Toby. My favourite colour is red, and I like maths.
I bet you're very good at maths, aren't you?
I am, and I'm going to take my A-levels next month and get an A star.
Well, I'm very impressed. And I do hope you get an A star.
So, do you know Mr. Shears?
Not really, no. I mean, I knew him well enough to say hello, but I didn't know much about him. Perhaps it would be best not to talk about these things, Christopher.
Why? Did Mr. Shears kill Mother?
What? No.
But did he give her stress so that she died of a heart attack?
I honestly have no idea what you are talking about, Christopher. Did she have to go to the hospital?
Yes, and it wasn't very serious at first, but then she went into hospital and then she died.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Christopher, I am so sorry. Christopher, look, I am going to tell you something, and you must promise not to tell your father that I told you this.
I promise.
Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
I know.
No, Christopher, I'm not sure that you do. I mean, they were very good friends. Very good friends.
Do you mean they were doing sex?
Yes, Christopher, that is what I mean. Are you alright?
Did it make you sad to find out that your mother and Mr. Shears had an affair?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I always tell the truth. I wouldn't be feeling sad because Mother is dead, so I would be feeling sad about something that isn't real and doesn't exist, and that would be stupid.
Do you remember much about your mother?
I remember the 20th of July, 2008. I was 9 years old. It was a Sunday. We were on the beach, and Mother was wearing a pair of denim shorts and a stripy blue swimming costume, and she was sunbathing on a towel. She was reading a book by Georgette Heyer called The Masqueraders, and then she went into the water and she said,
Bloody Nora, it's cold!
and she said, I should come and swim too, but I didn't like swimming because I don't like taking my clothes off.
Christopher, look, it's lovely.
And then she jumped backwards and disappeared under the water, and I thought a shark had eaten her, and I screamed.
Come on, Christopher. Stop screaming, touch my hand. It's okay. There aren't any sharks in Cornwall.
Mrs. Alexander stopped walking and said, I'm going to tell you something. You must promise not to tell your father I told you this. Your mother, before she died, was very... What is this?
It's a book I'm writing.
Is it true? Did you speak to Mrs. Alexander?
Yes.
Christopher, how stupid are you? What did I tell you, Christopher?
Not to go asking Mrs. Shears or anyone else about who killed that bloody dog, and to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game, except I haven't done any of those things. I just asked Mrs. Alexander about Mr. Shears because we were doing chatting.
Oh, don't give me that. You knew exactly what you were doing. I've read the book, remember? What else did I say, Christopher?
I don't know.
Not to go around sticking your nose in other people's business. And what do? You go around sticking your nose in other people's business.
I was just chatting with Mrs. Alexander. I wasn't doing investigating.
I asked you to do one thing for me, Christopher. One thing.
I didn't want to talk to Mrs. Alexander. It was Mrs. Alexander.
Christopher, I'm sorry. I worry about you. Because I don't want to see you getting into trouble. Because I don't want you to get hurt. Do you understand, Christopher? Do you understand that I love you?
Where's my book?
Christopher, why have you got a bruise on the side of your face?
Father was angry, so he grabbed me and I hit him, and then we had a fight.
Are you frightened of going home?
No, because I need to find my book.
The next day, when I got home from school, Father was still at work. So I started by looking in the kitchen, but I couldn't find my book there. Then I looked in the living room. Then I detected in the bathroom, but the only place to look was the cupboard, and nothing was in there. That meant that the only place left to detect was Father's bedroom. I started by looking under the bed. I found an old cardboard box. It's called a shirt box because people used to buy shirts in them. When I opened the shirt box, I found my book was inside it. That's when I saw the envelope. It was an envelope addressed to me, and it was lying under my book in the shirt box with other envelopes. It had never been opened. It said,
Christopher Boone, 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire.
they were all addressed to me. That's when I noticed how the words Christopher and Swindon were written. I only know 3 people who do little circles instead of dots above the letter I. One of them is Siobhan. One of them is Mr. Loxley, who used to work at the school, and one of them was Mother.
Christopher. What do you fancy for chow tonight?
Baked beans and broccoli.
I think that can be very easily arranged.
I think I'll go and be on my own now.
Good man.
I opened the envelope. Inside there was a letter. This is what it said.
451C, Chapter Road, Wilsden, London, NW2 5NG, 0208 887 8907. Dear Christopher, I'm sorry it's been such a very long time since I wrote my last letter to you. You haven't written back to me yet, so I know you're probably still angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I do love you, and I would love it if you were able to write me a letter. Lots of love, Mum.
I was confused. There wasn't a date on the letter, so I couldn't work out when it had been written. Then I looked at the front of the envelope. There was a postmark. The postmark said a date, 16 October 2013, which meant it had been posted 18 months after Mother had died. When I first started writing my book, I only had one mystery to solve. Now there were 2.
Christopher, I've got to go out.
Why?
There's a lady, her cellar's flooded. Got to go out and fix it. Will you be alright?
Yes.
Behave yourself, Christopher, yeah?
Yeah.
I counted down the letters. There were 43 of them. They were all addressed to me in the same handwriting. I picked one up and opened it. This is what the letter said.
culture a couple of Christmases ago, and that made me happy again because it was one of the really good times that we had together. We showed you a train timetable, and you made a train timetable, and you played with it for weeks. I liked remembering that a lot.
I opened another envelope. Inside was this letter.
Dear Christopher, I said I wanted to explain to you why I went away. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. Maybe if things were different. Maybe if you were different. You see, I'm not like your father. He's a very patient person, and if things upset him, he doesn't let it show. That's not the way I am, and there's nothing I can do to change it. I started feeling really lonely, and that's when I began spending lots of time with Raja, or Mr. Shears. And I know you might not understand this now, but I thought what I was doing was best for all of us. I used to have dreams that things would get better. Do you remember when you said that you wanted to be an astronaut? Well, I had dreams that you were an astronaut. And you were on television, and I thought, that's my son. I wonder what it is that you want to be now. Has it changed? Are you still doing maths? I hope you are. Loads and loads of love, Mother.
Christopher? Christopher, what are you doing? What are you... I don't know what to say. I said she was in hospital because I didn't know how to explain it. Christopher, it's going to be all right. I want you to know that you can trust me. You have to know that I'm going to tell you the truth about everything from now on. I killed Wellington. Let me explain. When your mum left, Mrs. Shears helped me through a difficult time. I thought eventually she might want to move in here with us. I guess I thought wrong. We argued, and she said some things that I'm not going to say to you, Christopher, because they're not very nice. Anyway, after this particularly nasty blowout, she chucks me out of the house. And you know what that dog was like. Nice as pie one moment, roll over, tickle its stomach, sink its teeth into you the next. So, when she slammed the door behind me, the little bugger was waiting for me. I don't know, maybe if I'd just given it a kick, it would have backed off, but it was as if everything I'd been bottling up for the past 2 years just... I never meant for it to turn out like this, Christopher. Christopher? Okay, look, I'm sorry. Let's leave it for tonight. Get some rest, and we'll talk in the morning. It's gonna be all right, Christopher. Trust me.
Three, 5, 5, 8. 3, 5, 5, 8. 3, 5, 5, 8. 3, 5, 5, 8. 3, 5, 5, 8. 3, 5, 5, 8.
Father had met at Wellington
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. Can you take care of Toby for me? He eats special pellets, and you can get him from a pet shop. And he needs fresh water every day too.
Why do you need someone to look after Toby, Christopher?
Because I'm going to London to live with my mother.
I thought you told me your mother was dead.
I thought she was dead, but she was still alive, and father lied to me. And also he killed Wellington.
Is your mother here?
No, mother is in London. She lives at 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
I really don't think this is a good idea, Christopher.
I knew the train station was somewhere nearby, and if something is nearby, you can find it by moving in a spiral, walking clockwise and taking every right turn until you come back to a road you've already walked on. Then taking the next left, then taking every right turn and so on. And that was how I found the station.
Customers seeking access to the car park. Please use assistance phone opposite, right to the ticket office.
Warning, CCTV in operation.
Very Western.
Hold beers and lagers.
Caution, wet floor.
Transforming travel.
Refreshingly different.
Elementary.
No smoking.
Car parking.
Open as usual this way.
No smoking.
No alcohol.
All guns must be carried.
Young man, are you alright?
No! Yeah.
What is your name?
Christopher Boone.
Where do you live?
36 Randolph Street.
And what are you doing here?
I'm going to London to live with my mother.
And where does your mother live then?
She lives at 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG.
And how about are you going to get to London?
I have a card.
I see. Is this your car?
No, it's father's.
Father's.
Yes, father's.
Okay.
He gave me the number. It's 3558.
Now are you sure you know what you're doing?
Yes, I'm going to London to live with my mother.
Does your mother got a telephone number?
Yes, it's 0208 8887 8907.
And you'll ring her if you get into any trouble.
Yes! Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Is this the train to London?
Christopher! Caught you just in time. We've got your father down at the station. He's looking for you. Hey! Hey! Let's not get overexcited now.
Did you arrest father?
No, we haven't arrested him. What for?
He killed a dog with a garden fork. His name is Wellington.
Well, we can talk about that later. For right now, I think you've done enough adventuring for one day. Listen here, you little monkey. Either do as I say, or I'm going to have to make you. Hey, have you seen a 15-year-old boy? He's wearing a blue jacket.
I could see her. She was looking over the seat. I decided I didn't like policemen very much anymore, so I got off the train.
Left, right,
Left, right,
Street, Bay Street.
right.
Heathrow Airport. Bagel Factory.
Paddington Station.
Dublin
Judy, look, I'm sorry, okay?
Well, you should have thought about that before you made me look like a complete idiot.
I didn't know if you were in, so I waited outside for you.
Christopher?
What?
Christopher!
Okay, what the bloody hell is going on here?
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry,
I suppose this means Ed's here.
Where's your father, Christopher?
I think he's in Swindon.
Thank God for that.
But how did you get here?
I came on the train.
Well, are you going to come inside, or are you just going to stand up here on me?
Well, I'm going to live with you because Father killed Wellington with a garden.
Good Lord.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I'm tired.
I know, love. You're very brave.
Yes.
You never wrote to me. I wrote you all those letters and I kept thinking something dreadful had happened or you moved away and I'd never find out where you were.
Father said you were dead.
What?
He said that you had something wrong with your heart, and then you went into hospital, and then you had a heart attack and died.
My God, oh Christopher, I'm so sorry.
Christopher,
You have no right to be here.
he's my son in case you forgot.
What in God's name do you think you're playing at saying those things to him?
You were the one who bloody left.
So you decided to wipe me out of his life altogether?
Now, shouldn't we all just calm down here, shall we?
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
I wrote to him every week.
I cooked his meals. I cleaned his clothes. I looked after him when he was ill. I looked after him when he wandered off somewhere at night. And you what? Wrote him some bloody letters?
So you thought it was okay to tell him his mother was dead?
Now is not the time.
I'm going to see him. And if you try and stop me... Christopher? Just listen. I'm really sorry. About the letters, I never meant... I promise I will never do anything like that again. Christopher, please!
Mr. Boone, come on, babe.
This is my son.
I know. Do you want to go back to Swindon to your father, or do you want to stay here?
I want to stay here.
Come with me, please.
I'll be back. I promise you, Christopher. I promise you, lad.
Everything is going to be alright. I promise you.
Okay, I suppose he can stay for a few days.
He can stay as long as he needs to stay.
This flat's hardly big enough for 2 people, let alone 3.
He can understand what you're saying, you know?
What's he going to do? There's no school for him to go to. We both got jobs.
Roger, that's enough. He can stay as long as he needs to stay.
I don't believe this.
You can stay as long as you need to stay.
But I have to go back to Swindon.
But you just got here.
But I have to go back so I can sit my maths A levels.
You doing maths A level?
Yes, I'm taking it on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday next week. But I can't see Father, so I have to go back to Swindon with you.
Well, I don't know whether that's going to be possible.
But I have to go back.
Let's talk about this some other time, okay?
Okay, but I have to go.
Christopher, please.
Here we are. 100 number puzzles. It's from the library. This one is called The Origins of the Universe. And this one is Nuclear Power.
They're for children.
Well, it's nice to know my contribution is appreciated. Don't you ever think about other people for just 1 second, eh? Well, I bet you're real pleased with yourself now, aren't you?
Roger! Christopher, I'm sorry. I'm
do men in Swindon. I don't want to see father.
Christopher, please.
If I go back, does that mean I can still do my maths A levels?
We're going back because if we stay here any longer, someone is going to get hurt. And I don't necessarily mean you. Now, I need you to be quiet.
How long do you need me to be quiet for?
Half an hour, Christopher. I need you to be quiet for half an hour.
What a nerve! Strutting around here as though nothing ever happened.
Ignore her, Christopher.
So he's finally dumped you too, hasn't he? You had it coming, you know. Don't try and pretend that you didn't, because you did.
Where are we going?
We're going to the school. So you're Christopher's mother?
Yes, and you are?
I'm Siobhan. It's nice to meet you.
Right, it's nice to meet you too.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
Are you alright?
I'm tired.
He's a bit upset. I spoke to Mrs. Gascoigne after you called. She actually has your A-level papers in her desk.
Does that mean I can still do my maths A levels?
Is that what you want to do, Christopher? No one will be angry with you if you say you don't want to do them.
I want to do it.
Turn over your paper, please, Christopher. You may begin.
1, 8, 27, 6, 64, 125, 216, 343, 512, 729, 1,331,
Are you alright, Christopher?
I can't read the question. I can see the question, but I can't read the question because the words are all mixed up in the wrong way to me. What does this question say?
I'm afraid I cannot help you like that, Christopher. I'm not allowed.
Christopher, catch your breath. Count the cubes of the cardinal numbers again.
1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216, 343, 512, 729, 1,331.
Now, have another go, okay?
Okay.
Christopher, I came to ask how the exam went. I'm not going to hurt you. Can I have a talk with you?
No, you can't, no!
Christopher, it's okay.
I don't want to see father.
I'll do you a deal. 5 minutes, okay? That's all. Christopher, look, things can't go on like this. You have to learn to trust me. And I don't care how long that takes. If it's 1 minute one day, 2 minutes the next, 3 minutes the next, I don't care. Because this is more important than anything else. Let's call it a project. A project we have to do together. You have to spend more time with me, and I have to show you that you can trust me. I've got you a present to show you I really mean what I say. And well, to say sorry. He's 2 months old, Christopher.
Does he have a name?
No, you can decide what to call him.
Sandy. He's called Sandy.
Now, you can't take him with you, but Father's going to take care of him, and you can take him on as many walks as you like.
Christopher,
this?
Your results.
Right.
You have to read it and open it.
Oh, right.
So, what does it say?
I got an A star.
Oh, Christopher, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Aren't you happy?
Yes, it's the best result.
How are you and your father getting along?
Father planted a vegetable patch in his garden. I helped him and Sandy watched. He planted carrots and peas and spinach, and I was going to pick them when they were done. He also brought me a book, which is called Further Maths for A Level. In 2 years, I'll take A Level Physics and get an A star grade. And then I will go to university. And there I will get a first class honors degree. And then I will be a scientist. I can do these things.
I hope so.
I can, because I went to London on my own. I solved the mystery of who killed my mother. I found Wellington, and I was brave.
You were.
And I wrote a book.
I know. I read it. We turned it into a play.
Does that mean I can do anything? Don't you think? Does that mean I can do anything, Siobhan? Does that mean I can do anything?
In time.